Hi, this is Diane Steinbaugh again, and today we're going to work on drawing the textures. Last time we did the rubbings, or the last video, we created the rubbings, and I have like a bunch of pages now, but you need two. I'm out in my garage and my neighbors are doing yard work because it's a really nice day. So I have one that I'm working. I have several that I'm working on, and I have stacks and stacks of things. I was going to work on this one just a little bit. Now I did a little trick before I turned on the camera, and let's see if I can make it show. One thing I did do, and this is not a trick, is I was sketching on some of these basic shapes that are here in this texture design. This is my back deck. And then I'm going to use the ebony pencil. I'm going to use the long side of the lead because I want to get a lot of penciling down basically. And I'm going to be looking, this is just like the duplication exercises, looking at what I have over here under next to my finger, and I'm going to try to draw what I see over here. And I'm skipping some spots, and I'm trying to get some of those smears that happened while I was doing the rubbing, because this is all part of the texture. This is a texture that was real out on my deck, and now I am trying to replicate it. I want to show it with my pencil. I'm not sure if my little tricks are making it work so great. But hey, I'm going to keep working on this, because one thing you will find with textures is it does take a lot of going back and forth and putting on some pencil and maybe a little bit of erasing. Okay, clearly this one's going to take a little while. I want to keep working on it though. Okay. Oh yeah, and then I have this one started. This one's sort of a random, well, not really a random pattern, but there's a pattern here that I don't feel like I need to draw out first. So I did that background. And then next thing I'm going to do is use my pencil, and I have to decide, do I want to get up on my point and kind of mark that in? Do I want to use the long side to get a little bit thicker line? These are all decisions each artist has to make. Sometimes after you get those marks on there, and I'm not going to do the whole thing because it takes a while to do the whole thing. I'm not that great at editing. You can just take your finger and buff it down just a little bit to get that softening. Okay, well here's one of the things. You are not all going to have the same textures that I have on my paper because I did mine at home. You may or may not have the same things at your house that I have. So I'm going to show you some tricks, or the professional term, techniques that may be possibly applied to your texture drawings. This one's coming along kind of nice. I'm going to keep working on those tricks using the stopper, indenting, blending, erasing. I don't know if this shows very well on the camera. See that white line? Okay, there's a white line inside of that shaded area. Really good for things like fur and whiskers when you're drawing. I'm going to put a stack of paper underneath this paper. I'm going to use a paper clip. This is not a special paper clip, it's just the one that I found in my house. I'm going to push down and make some lines in my paper, and I can see what they are. And of course, if we know about air drawing, you might be able to visualize where these are. Okay, I did that on a stack of paper so that the lines had a place to push down. Now I'm going to take it off and put it on a hard surface. Let's see if that works. I'm going to use the long side of my pencil, and it kind of skips over. See that? Cool trick, huh? Let's see if that works on top of a stack of paper. Might as well try it both ways. Yes, it does. Maybe it's even better that way. Let's take another look. Okay. Using a stopper. I don't know what you call it. It's a gift card. This one happens to be a hotel key. This is one I use for painting a lot. Now let's say you have a texture that's got some dark areas and then real hard edges. If you try to do that with your pencil, sometimes you can't stay in the lines. So if I want to make more shapes on here as if it's like shoe tread or something, I can put my stopper wherever I want the edge to be and then start shading, and it'll stop up against that. And make a nice hard edge to that shape. I bring my stopper over here. Now you're probably thinking, well, what if I want to do that but my shape doesn't have a hard edge? That's when your fingernails and thumbnails come into use. Let's say I want to have like a curved edge right here. I'm just going to do the same thing, but bump into my thumbnail. Ooh. Okay, no, now I'm having fun. I'm going to do that some more. Starting to get some afternoon light here, so I'm not getting as much light on my paper probably for you to see. Let's make a nice curved edge there. The nice thing about using your fingernails and thumbnails is you just move it right along and shape it however you want. Okay, so that's using a stopper. Blending. Oh, you're going to have a lot of things on your texture pages that just need a little bit of softening. So you might already have a background texture down, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just using my fingers. You'll be surprised how dirty you get when you draw. Now, if I want to have something that has a soft edge, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put down some of that graphite from the pencil, and then I'm going to make it kind of fade like a gradient coming off. Put a lot in the middle there because I'm going to move it around with my finger. And make it look like a face. Woo. Then let's take my finger and buff it in just a little bit. And if that doesn't make me happy, I'm just going to go back in and add a little bit more. Buff and blend and soften to make it look like. Okay, erasing. This one I did some erasing and then I went back into it. And I used my little stopper thing a couple of times too. So there's going to be some times when you have big white lines or big white shapes. So you might end up shading in some of your paper first and then going back in with your eraser. Oh, my eraser is filthy. I'm going to clean it off on my jeans. Now you can draw with your eraser. Literally draw with your eraser to get some of those shapes that you might need cut out. Back in. You can also use a stopper edge if you want to get more specific shapes with your eraser. What I did up here is I went back in with my pencil, and this is just completely made up. I'm not even looking at anything. I went back in and added a little bit of darks mixed to it because sometimes when your pencil jumps off of a texture and goes into a spot where there's a hole, there's a little bit darker edge here and there, different ways. So I'm just adding that in for realism. Ooh, I could do something like that too, like maybe it went halfway through. Oh. Anyway, so those are 4 different tricks, and you might think of some more. Basically, it's just looking and drawing and trying to make marks and get things lighter and medium and darker with your pencil for your texture pages. So I'm going to go back to work on this one. I think I need to put my indentations in here a little bit harder. That might help me. Okay. have fun doing your texture pages, I would highly recommend putting some music in to listen to so that left brain of yours will stop telling you how boring this is, and your right brain says, oh, isn't this cool? Look at all these shapes and values and different ways I can manipulate my pencil to make these textures. Hey. When you're all done, photograph and upload. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do on your texture pages. I think that needs just a little bit of buffing down. I can practically draw with my finger now. I've got so much on it. Yeah.